A romance with a large age gap, disapproving parents, and indecisive action sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Sounds good.
Indecision. Jenny and Sumit finally, after 10 years of dating, got married.
Finally! It only took 9-10 years, but we're finally married.
Audiences were surprised after seeing how tumultuous their relationship had been. Sumit was especially nervous when towards the end, after filing for marriage, a process that would take 30 days, he told his friend that he would hold off the application due to his nerves. Was it a case of cold feet or because it didn't feel completely right?
I'm not ready for the marriage right now.
Expiring visa. One of the difficulties of their relationship was Jenny's constant expiring visa. They know that if they don't get married, she would not be able to stay in India anymore, and because of that, the relationship is going to end. We're not sure how great a rushed marriage would be. Ultimatums. Jenny had threatened to go back to America if she didn't get the marriage license. The couple had tried to find other ways to legally keep her in the country without bringing up marriage, but ultimately, this seems to be the only way. This makes us wonder what other ultimatums she could give in the future. Family feud. Parents' approval is a big deal, but especially in India where respect is everything. So, when Sumit's parents made it clear they despise Jenny, it put a huge rift in how they are going forward in their relationship. Not to mention how they didn't tell their parents about the wedding because they didn't want it to be stopped. Sumit's parents also want to move in with them, and that can only cause disastrous outcomes.
My first thought is no, and not just no, but hell no.
Plus, Sumit's brother is more on their parents' side, blaming them for putting a strain on the family dynamic, telling him he would never marry his wife without their parents' approval, and even saying that they are never going to get their parents' approval in their lives. Harsh. With no support from family and friends and only relying on each other, it's gonna be a very tough marriage. Jenny said, "I know it's wrong not to tell his parents that we're getting married. It wasn't an easy decision to make, but Sumit and I have been through so much, and I don't really trust them 100%. Sounds like a lot of drama. Meanwhile, Sumit has hopes they would eventually come around. He's sure of an optimist, all right. Mommy issues. We're also not sure how long the marriage will last, as Sumit has a special bond with his mom. Sumit's mom also crosses boundaries, like making up her mind that she's moving in with her son without consultation. She says, "I wanted to live with him because I have an attachment to him, and Sumit is attached to me." We suspect she knows exactly what she's doing by moving in. It would be the perfect way for her to drive the American back to her homeland. Plus, is any happily engaged man really that excited to have their parents move in with them? We think not. Age gap. If you don't know by now, this couple has an abnormal age gap, with Jenny being 63 and Sumit being 33. The 30-year age gap between the two could be detrimental as they get older. We wonder what they even have in common. Children. A big part of the marriage discussion is having children. Sumit's mom worries how they will possibly have any children, and the couple initially wanted to adopt but have decided against it. Plus, Jenny already has 3 daughters and grandkids, so she probably would not want to do it all over again. They do currently have dogs though, but would this be a regret Sumit has down the road? Sudden marriage. Their marriage also came at lightning speed. Even though they have been dating for 10 years, they seem to have rushed their officiation process. A traditional Indian ceremony usually comes with a large celebration, and that's what Jenny had originally hoped for. But with such negativity surrounding their relationship, this couple seems to have made this life-changing decision out of the blue.
We don't know what our future holds, but the only thing we know is that we're happy together.
Roadblocks. There were multiple times where audiences suspected that Sumit was stringing Jenny along for years. He had plenty of excuses, ranging from his parents, visa issues, cultural differences, and insecurities. When dealing with uncertainties, Sumit said he's marrying her because the idea of losing her is worse. Isn't the point of marriage for love, not abandonment? How Jenny had so much patience is the real question. Just because she's got the title doesn't mean these roadblocks are going away anytime soon, unfortunately. Deceptive Ways. Sumit actually catfished the grandmother when they originally met online, as he had posed as a male model named Michael Jones for several years.
Like, what? I mean, what?
He only came clean when he developed strong feelings for her, admitting to being not handsome and from New Delhi and working at a call center. Even though she had been deceived, she still forgave him and traveled to India to meet him. She says on the show, "I think that everyone is entitled to happiness. I didn't really think I would find love again, to tell you the truth." With so many lies on top of one another, could Sumit still be hiding other things even if they're married? Once divorced. The lies actually didn't stop there. Sumit was previously married before in an arranged marriage, and that was actually one of the main obstacles that had prevented him from tying the knot with Jenny early on. When Jenny found out, she had an emotional breakdown where she threw herself into a hotel room and had to call one of the show's producers to help her, as she had been stuck there for 5 days in shock.
Why did he marry somebody if he loved me? If he's telling me he loves me all these years, every single day?
Apparently, Sumit said the original marriage had been so stressful for him that his parents had to eventually pay $20,000 for the divorce to be finalized.
He has not paid me anything.
Sounds brutal. It also explains why he's terrified of commitment. He explains, "The fear is still there in my heart, in my mind, somewhere, but I know the person I'm living with is nice. I hope everything will go fine." Distance no more. Most of their relationship had been long distance, as Jenny has to leave the country every 6 months due to visa issues. Even though she thinks they'll be fine once they're married, would too much time together turn out to be an issue? They say distance makes the heart grow fonder, so would they have a change of hearts once that issue is eliminated? Plus, this means Jenny would be away from her own children for a very long time. We'll just have to wait and see. Uncertain future. They actually don't have many plans for what's next, which can be quite concerning. Even though they're married, Jenny says, "We don't know what our future holds. Only thing we know is that we're happy together and we're living our life the way we want to. We made it." That's all we can say is, we made it. We don't know how much you can trust a marriage certificate to seal the deal with a man that's been divorced. Sometimes there's a lot more challenges after the finish line, Jenny. Body language. If your mind can't decide, your body definitely can. And a lot of Sumit's body language speaks volumes to how he feels in the relationship. When his parents changed their opinion on approving their marriage, Sumit was noticeably more sweaty, anxious, and tongue-tied.
I was a bit nervous about it.
If this isn't a sign of uncertainty, we don't know what is. Disapproving Society. No matter where you live, gossip spreads, and you can't hide behind the visibly large age differences between the two. Every time they walk out, people will stare. Having an uncomfortable surrounding surely makes it hard for a romance to blossom. Not to mention they have put themselves on TV, where they are open to huge criticism. There's no escaping the hate, which can put a lot of pressure on newlyweds. It looks like this odd couple has fought through the trenches, but the battle is still far from over. We're exhausted just from listing their troubles. Do you think the two will be able to work it out? Or rather, for how long? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you want to stay up to date with the latest reality TV news, and we'll see you next time on The Things Reality.